Anyway, so hello internet. This is an unusual video. I'll come on to that in a minute. But first things first, I will hopefully be able to do some gameplay videos over the summer, like I normally do with this channel, but it might not be possible, so, I mean, don't hold your breath, but I'll let you know. So, the reason I'm doing this video is because the Public Speaking Society that I'm part of, they stopped sessions for the summer, and I wanted to, flex the old public speaking muscles, and I really wanted to do this rant. I'll put a link to, on a side note, I'll put a link to the Public Speaking Society channel in the description box, and check us out because I do speeches on there, lots of other people in the society do speeches on there, and we're pretty good, and we would appreciate comments and feedback. So anyway, on to why we're here. The next generation of consoles, it's looming large at the minute, and this rant is specifically about the Xbox One, or the Xbone as it was very swiftly known as. Thank you internet for that one. But I feel I've got to mention the other, the competitors. So firstly, there's the Wii U, and I kind of feel like comparing the Wii U to the others, it doesn't quite work. It's like comparing films and TV. You can do it, it's quite valid, but there are different criteria at play there, so it's not quite a fair comparison. I will say though that the controller for that, the big tablet thing, it's a gimmicky solution looking for a problem, and their game lineup is incredibly small, so I'm not particularly behind the Wii U at the minute. As for the PS4, one of the two big hitters, it seems to be more consumer friendly of the two consoles, but it does have this whole obsession with social media and stuff, so I can't really get behind that either. So, the Xbox One. Now, early rumours for this weren't exactly promising. There was the always online, it was rumoured to be an always online console, the fact it wouldn't play used games, that kind of thing. It generally it generally gave the console quite an unpleasant air to it. So when it came to the actual reveal, Microsoft disappointed gamers with their particularly TV-heavy presentation, and I'll admit I was one of those people who was quite disappointed by it, but now I look back and think, actually, the TV focus is not even the biggest problem. I'm not even going to attack the Xbox One on its, the Kinect privacy issues, because there's way better stuff to attack it with. There's the backwards compatibility issue, come on to that later. There's the fact you have to check in every 24 hours, which shows a blatant lack of trust of its audience. Come on, Microsoft. What's the deal? We're not all out to screw you. Most of us won't try and steal games and stuff. And then there's the questions over how used games work, and there are still questions now. Microsoft haven't, definitively said how it worked. They just lumped it onto the publishers. And this leads to some kind of quite disturbing questions over the concept of ownership, really. You're not paying, it doesn't seem like you're paying for the game, you're paying for permission to play it. And these kind of things all came together to make quite a lot of people, myself included, quite angry about the Xbox One. So we come to E3, Microsoft's big chance for redemption. I say redemption, what I actually mean is they pump out a big pile of flashy pre-rendered trailers in a vain attempt to try and sweep all of this bad stuff under the carpet and hope that we'll forget about it. And I really hate them for that. And I hate the fact that a lot of people will fall for it. One thing that did stand out to me is the fact that having the gold members, for Xbox Live Gold members, will be given free games, I don't know, something like on a monthly basis, starting with Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3. This is cynical backtracking on them saying there's no backwards compatibility. It's kind of a disturbing thing, really, how cynically they'll backtrack on it. Here's the thing though, right? If I wanted to play Assassin's Creed 2, or indeed any Assassin's Creed game, I would have done it. There have been 5 Assassin's Creed games this generation. I could have picked it up. but I don't want to. I don't have any interest in playing Assassin's Creed. Why would I care about it now, especially when I get other next-gen... If I were to get an Xbox One, I wouldn't care about Assassin's Creed, because I'd have all the other next-gen titles that I'd be more interested in. And as for Halo 3, I already have Halo 3, why do I want it again? I bet you any money that they won't transfer data from the previous thing, so all of my armour unlocks, campaign progress and that, will probably be lost. I would be less mad about this had they not gone and insulted backwards compatibility initially, calling it backwards thinking. I can think of only one appropriate response to this, and that's screw you, Microsoft. Right, let's take the example of Dragon's Dogma, definitely my favourite game this generation and possibly my favourite game ever. I have put a lot of time into that, and I'm really quite attached to the character I built there. For Microsoft to go and insult backwards compatibility, I feel personally insulted by that. All the time that I've spent with, not just Dragon's Dogma, every game I've played this generation, for them to insult backwards compatibility seems to insult all of the time I've spent with these games. And so, they've done this cynical backtracking with this half-assed gold member freebie thing as a vain attempt to do a sort of backwards compatible thing. And it really pisses me off. Aside from that kind of hypocrisy there of having this backwards compatibility, having just insulted it, you can bet your ass the only games that are going to be given as freebies are these, the big AAA titles. Something like Dragon's Dogma probably won't get a look in. Some of the games I've really enjoyed this generation probably won't get a look in. And this just pisses me off to an unbelievable extent. So all this comes together to create a console with a hideously anti-consumer air to it. Now, I'm not normally, an angry person. I'm not normally bitter or vindictive. But I genuinely want the Xbox One to fail. I want Microsoft to be punished for their hubris, for dumping as much as they can get away with on their consumers. But sadly for me at least, the lineup of games they presented at E3 seems like they will get away with it, that it will save the Xbox One. I really wanted to like the next generation. I like consoles. I like the convenience of buying a disc, putting it in, you don't have to worry about whether it will work or not. You just put the disc in, it will run. I like controllers. I much prefer having a controller in my hands to this whole kind of keyboard and mouse setup. Some of my favourite games ever have been on consoles and only available on consoles. But I'm guessing this is it, the more I hear about the next generation of consoles, the more I think, no, I don't want to take part. This is not for me. I know that just, one bloke on YouTube having a little rant, probably not going to make much of a difference in the grand scheme of things. But, you gotta start somewhere, right? Thank you for listening.